Welcome to the Two Posh Podcast.
I am Gabrielle. I am a former New York Mafia princess, originally from Austria. I am the mother of 3 and the owner of Two Posh Boutique. And here with my beautiful co-host, Marcella, my daughter.
Hello, I'm Marcella. I'm a dancer, choreographer, model, and designer for Two Posh. And I say whatever the I want.
Hi, my name is Cruz. I am a stylist. I also own the Society Salon in the Design District, and I am a short little Mexican with a big personality.
I am Polly. I am a certified sexual health consultant and educator, former professional dominatrix, currently working at the largest adult novelty store in the Texas Panhandle.
What will they say next? Welcome to the Two Posh Podcast.
Welcome, guys. How are you, Marcella?
Good.
How are you, Cruz?
Excellent. How are you? How's everybody out there?
2 thumbs up back here.
So today we're going to do something different. I don't know. You know, there's so many crime podcasts out there that it's such an overwhelming space. There's just thousands, millions of them. But Marcella and I have always been intrigued with that kind of stuff anyhow. And we thought every once in a while we'll throw some of those
Crazy
stories
ones
in
here.
I have a question for you girls. Are you the girls the type that sleep with those murder mystery TV shows on and just like go to sleep?
Sleep with it on, no. But I definitely watch Investigation Discovery.
Man,
I just don't. It stresses me out.
Me too.
I can't. No,
I can't
not
handle
at
that.
nighttime. No.
I can't handle that.
I think I'm so like I'm trying to understand the mindset of that type of human being. It's more like trying to figure it out.
I don't think you can.
I know.
That's the thing, that the people that have that mindset are not the same kind of people that we are.
Right. But I watch the Ted Bundy documentaries. Like I watch it because I'm just so amazed that the mind would let somebody do that. Like I can't understand it. So I think it's like, you know, when you're watching like a natural disaster and your brain is like not getting it. You
Right.
just can't wrap your head around it, but you still watch it. It's like, I don't know. Just
you're definitely drawn to it because it's so unbelievable that this is real. People are really, 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 this is happening to people. Real people. It's not scripted, right?
Yeah.
So, and this, what we're going to talk about today is just one of these stories. You know, you hear them, especially back in the day when Nancy Grace had her own show.
Yeah, we used to watch Nancy
We used
Grace.
to watch it all the time, and there are those that you'll never forget, like the Casey Anthony story. You know about that one?
I don't know.
She was a girl who they thought killed her child, and it was like the whole
2-year-old
thing.
girl.
It was like, and then the girl who
yes.
who disappeared in Aruba. Like we were watching
Natalie Holloway.
Yeah, we would watch Nancy Grace because you're kind of like, what is
we
going
just
on?
wanted to know all these things because it's so unbelievable that this could really happen in real life. And then the Scott Peterson, Lacey Peterson.
Oh my God,
story.
that was crazy.
And then the
So-
guy who
And they think they can just like
Get away with
it.
right?
And Casey Anthony did. She got away with it.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Some
mean,
do.
it's unbelievable.
I
O.J.
think-
Simpson.
Yeah, I remember like when
O.J.
O.J. Simpson, like the trial, you know,
Yes.
people just get so drawn to it. You know, I don't fall asleep with murder on my TV, but I think it's like, I find it's just like the O.J. Simpson thing or Casey Anthony or that Jodi Arias who shot her boyfriend while he was taking a shower, like after taking sexy photos with like together. It's like, you're like, what the hell is going on in your
happened?
brain? Like, why did you snap like that?
So
I don't
right
know.
now, it's Gabby Petito. This is that type of story. And I have found it so interesting because I do have to say when that kind of stuff happens, when people go missing and then the family goes on TV and holds a press conference. That has always been when I kind of watch it because why can't I think of her? Susan Smith.
She's from Texas, right?
No,
I'm thinking of
Susan Smith was this mom who strapped her 2 children in the car and drove the freaking car in the water and then pretended that some black guy took the kids, abducted them, and did it.
Yeah,
and
she made up this
pretended.
whole story.
So she held a press conference crying, sobbing for her children, right? And then it was all her. So ever since then, I think
And did she get busted?
She did get
Yes.
busted.
Wow.
yeah.
So ever since that one, I always watch for the people holding a press conference because I'm always like, was it them? Was it them kind of thing? And when this Gabby Petito went missing, her mom and stepdad held a press conference and I did watch it. And I was like, well, you could tell immediately like that this story was
Fishy.
that something wasn't right. It confused me why they said she was missing so late from the time she went missing because I'm psycho. If you don't reply to me, I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't wait so many days.
Yeah.
But there was
If you don't answer her
reasons.
for a few hours.
I mean, this whole incident is kind of
It's crazy.
fishy.
So I have kind of, I don't know if this is a crazy comparison, probably, but when the Gulf War happened, I don't know if you guys I'm now dating myself. Don't add up whole time. There was this news reporter and his name was Arthur Kent, and he kind of became a celebrity by the way he handled how he reported, I guess you could say. Well, there's a reporter now on Twitter that's kind of becoming a celebrity status, how he's reporting this Gabby Petito case. And I follow him. And his name is Brian Entin. And he always has the up-to-date things that are going on. And he just 2 days ago did an hour special on this case. And I wanted to let you guys see the beginning because it kind of is really cool. And then we'll talk
Gives
about
you
the
a
timeline.
Wow. All right.
You can never forget the one. One mystery that mesmerizes you.
I love the van.
One case you can't turn away from.
2 people went on a trip, 1 person returned.
One life taken too soon.
She's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful soul inside and out.
One person of interest.
Brian needs to talk now, and by now he needs to talk yesterday. And like by yesterday, I mean he should have talked September 1st.
One clue that could change everything.
I don't know, we just been fighting all morning.
Tonight, inside the Gabby Petito case. 1 hour of in-depth coverage from our team of journalists.
We're up over Carlton Reserve right now.
Across the country.
What do Mr. and Mrs. Laundrie know?
Answering your questions.
I'm still curious about how the parents were so easily able to find the Mustang.
Why are they still searching the Carlton Reserve?
And interviews you'll only see here. A special edition of News Nation Prime starts right now.
So let's say you have to read an incredibly long email from your boss.
Ooh, that was hot. Man.
Oh, that is basically,
In a
nutshell, what is going on with this story. And Brian Entin, this person on Twitter, this journalist, has done such an excellent job. And it's very interesting because he, in the very beginning, she went missing. She has been found dead through an insane situation by YouTubers that had the van on their YouTube channel, on their YouTube video by accident. Like that's...
Wow.
Yeah, they said that they were editing their own YouTube and happened to see the van in the back, like in their video, right? And they're like, is that the van of the missing girl in our video? And that's how they found her.
Yes.
Wow.
And that all is so crazy. And I know we're jumping all around, but just imagine he was her fiance first. They were engaged and so here's this girl, she's 22 years old and they want to have a van life because I think that's starting to be popular.
Right.
There's YouTube channels like you live in a van and you travel all around, and they transformed their van to like their
home.
Their home. And
that would be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, and she is like the oldest daughter, I think, of this woman. Her mom and dad, they're divorced and remarried, and I think they did very young, get divorced, and she has 2 separate families with them, but both step-parents are very close with her, and she always stayed in touch with the family, and she, was talking to her mom, telling her where she is. She was sending postcards from the different cities that they were in to her fiance's sisters' children. So cute. Like you can tell she's a sweet person. She's saying, oh my gosh, I sat on this rock today and I saw a squirrel came and tried to take my food. She's saying this to the little kids that she's sending a postcard to. And well, I guess from one day to the next, the mom no longer gets messages from her. And then she is trying to get a hold of her fiance and the fiance's parents, and no one is answering them.
Oh my God. I was so panicked.
And then he returned home without her, and no one is still telling her parents where she is. No one is answering. They don't know. They can't find her. Her phone is off. And so then they declared her missing. I wanted to go over the timeline first before we go any further into it. So July 1st, Gabby Petito and her boyfriend Brian Laundrie left Blue Point, New York for a cross-country trip. August 12th, police in Moab, Utah respond to a domestic incident involving the couple. Now, that whole thing is...
I think that's part of what made some of this, in my opinion, kind of, I'm going to pause right there, take off just a little bit. Did you see that video?
I did.
I feel like if you, as a female, anybody who has experienced an abusive relationship, saw all the signs of, in her, what they have felt within themselves. Because I almost can't stomach that video because it reminds me of myself when I was in a very abusive relationship. And she is like, she's so uncomfortable. Like, you can just feel it. And so I think that's what I saw. A lot of people really interested, like, oh my gosh, if it's what you've experienced. We've not all, but if you've been in one, you could see all the same feelings. It's so sad and hard to watch. And so that video is so weird that they did get that.
Well, and it's like an hour-long video of the police responding to the domestic incident, which at the time when they got there, it seemed like she was the abuser with him because I think she was hitting him. But I think it's like that typical thing they say when a girl is in an abusive relationship, eventually she gets pushed so far that she might do crazy things.
Yes.
But it's out of
character.
And out of desperation in the situation she's in. Like sometimes that they have said that, like they get pushed to that point. And then that is the point when the police got there, and it seems like that they are going to get investigated because it seems like they didn't handle the situation correctly. And they also, how they separated them is odd to me as a mom of adult children, is very, very strange because...
So what did they do to separate
I guess how they dealt with it was, well, we're going to separate them. That they're thinking they're having a fight. And they took him to a hotel. They gave him like basically a police escort to a hotel and let her go with the van. And she was crying, saying she doesn't really want to drive the van. She doesn't drive it. She doesn't know how. She feels uncomfortable. Yet they told her to go take the van and go do your own thing. And it took him to a hotel, almost like protecting him more, I felt like.
Oh.
Which is crazy in itself.
Well, she was saying that it was her hitting him and stuff, but it didn't sound like she was saying the truth.
Right.
No, and it's so sad. She's like, it's all my fault. Like, I just have really bad OCD. And I'm like, oh my God. I just wanted to hug her because it's like,
very hard to watch.
Yep. Like, you could tell right away, like, she's, something's going on.
Yes.
Now, they are not connecting this with the story any longer, but why I believe this also has taken on this big, like so many news stations started picking up on this story is because in Moab, Utah, where this incident happened, before this happened, they were at a coffee shop for 8 hours. Why, no one knows. But the girl, the cashier girl, was one part of a lesbian newlywed couple who, her and her wife, ended up murdered at a campground in Moab, Utah. So at that moment, at that time, at some point, they thought this was connected. The police thought it was connected. All the people, the news stations thought it was connected. Because now you have a dead lesbian couple and a missing girl. And they were all in the same town. And one part of that lesbian couple worked in that coffee shop they were in. They're now saying there's no connection, but the murder is not solved.
That does
from this
seem
girl.
weird, though.
Wow. Yeah.
So because of this, now, guys, my husband couldn't care less about stuff like this, but we happened to be driving to Galveston at the time, and we got this news flash that there was this story just started getting more and more legs, and I said, hey, there's this crazy story. Can we listen? And he got sucked into it because it's so crazy. And he goes, there are no coincidences. There's no way this is a coincidence. And something inside me tells me maybe they're going to go back to that eventually.
Yeah, because that's weird.
Because it's just weird. But anyways, that's how this all started getting more and more and more attention, right? So then on August 21st, Petito's father, Gabby's dad, Joseph Petito, had his last FaceTime video call with his daughter, who was in Salt Lake City at the time. And then Gabby is last seen at a hotel in Salt Lake City with Brian Laundrie, that is her fiance, August 24th. Now, I also want to say her mom has also said that, yes, they did get engaged at one point, but when they got on that trip, they had decided to not be engaged anymore because they thought they were too young. They just wanted to go back to dating. So now it's boyfriend again. There's a confusion about that too. So on August 25th, Gabby makes the final call to her mom, Nicole Schmidt, saying she was in Grand Teton National Park. On August 25th or 26th, the couple chats with the owner of a shop called Rustic Row in Victor, Utah for about 20 minutes. On August 27th, there's video of Petito's van that was taken by a blogger of Red White and Bethune. That's their YouTube channel, around 6:30 at night at the Spread Creek campground. On August 29th, that's the day that Wisconsin TikToker Miranda Baker claimed that she and her boyfriend were approached by Laundrie at Grand Teton National Park and asked them for a ride at 5:30. Schmidt says she's not entertaining this claim and believes it possibly factual. Schmidt is her mom. She doesn't know if that's true. August 30th, her mom receives the last text from Petito saying no service in Yosemite. But the mom doesn't believe that's from her, because she also had a text a day before where Gabby supposedly referred to her grandpa with his first name, which she would have never done. So it seems like there's some times in between where there is text, but it's possibly not her. September 1st is when Brian Laundrie returns to his parents' home in Northport, Florida, in a van without Gabby. It's the van he returned with, but without her. September 11th, now the mom reports Gabby missing to authorities in New York. Gabby and Brian's van was impounded by police in Florida that same day. September 12th, Grand Teton National Park rangers search for Gabby. September 14th, he lawyered up. Brian, her boyfriend, immediately lawyers up and issues a statement about Gabby's disappearance through the lawyer. Also on this day, allegedly, he left his parents' home for a hike, allegedly. September 15th, he is officially named a person of interest. September 17th, the Laundrie family attorney confirms his whereabouts are unknown. So this dude went home. His parents never reported that he went missing for 3 days, What the heck?
It's weird.
It's so insane. September 18th, Northport Police and the FBI start searching the Carlton Reserve in Sarasota County for missing Brian Laundrie. September 19th, this Bethune realizes she has video of Gabby's van around 12 a.m. as they're looking at their vacation.
That's weird.
That
is weird.
They had a video on their dash cam. Like, what's the video called?
A GoPro.
A GoPro on their dash cam. And they're like trying to edit their vacation video at 12 a.m. and they see that van pops up on their video.
Ugh.
So they realize they have that video of Petito's van and submit it to the FBI with the footage 10 minutes later. Officials announced a body was found near Grand Teton National Park that matched Gabby's description in the afternoon. Very next day. September 21st, coroner confirms remains found in Grand Tetons belong to Gabby. Her death is ruled a homicide, but her cause of death is still under investigation. September 20th to 22, FBI and Northport Police continue search for Laundrie in Carlton Reserve. September 22nd, neighbors say they saw the Laundrie family pack up their detached camper on the day Gabby was reported missing. And they show the camper was back in the driveway 2 days later on September 13th. So they say they went on a camping trip with their son and then didn't come home with the son. And they don't know where the son is. So, obviously.
I wonder, too, would they have found her had it not been for those YouTubers?
I bet no. No, I bet no.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
I mean, that is the crazy part. So he thought he got away with it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then those YouTubers and had to, like, what if they didn't even know about it?
Right.
So they are like, thank
this is
God.
Complete coincidence, right?
Wow.
And he's still missing.
He is still missing. Now,
I heard they think he's like in Mexico or Puerto Rico or something.
but they keep searching that freaking swamp behind, like in the parents' hometown, and they have like spent over millions of dollars searching every single day.
And his parents don't say anything, right?
His parents don't say anything. So
they know.
They absolutely know. And they're so calm. And everyone goes, if you think your son is missing, you don't even come out and try help search. Like, what are you doing? They are in their house. So my little Brian Entin, famous journalist on Twitter, he made friends with the very next door neighbors of Brian Laundrie's parents.
And so he went there.
He is there every second of every single day, and he gets more videos than anyone, and he knows more than anybody. And so this is why he's becoming the journalist. They are saying he should get Emmys and whatever.
My God.
Like, it is becoming a real unbelievable story. And he's also handsome. He just fits this whole thing, right? So he works for News Nation, which is a new news station, and there was like a bunch of craziness going on. Why is this girl, because she's white, is reported? But I mean, listen to the story. I don't care what color you are. This is just a crazy story.
Yeah,
I find that crazy. So News Nation, though, because of all this, they have actually announced a new show that it's not going to stop with Gabby, but they are going to have a new show, Missing in America.
Oh.
So they're going to continue this and investigate other missing people.
Well, it is, because I'm sure if you have a loved one I can't even imagine like the panic, because missing is like, you don't even know where to start. Like, I mean, how does somebody go missing? I mean, that's crazy. So I think, yes, other people do need the attention, because we had someone over the other night saying, there's so many kids who go missing.
I mean, you just mentioned a few people before this, I mean, that's...
it's crazy. So I think that's an amazing thing. I got into it on accident because I was on TikTok and I saw this girl.
Everyone talks about it.
Well, I saw this girl come up and she's talking about giving somebody a ride, and it has like 8 million likes. And I was like, what is she talking about? And I'm listening, and then I looked at the hashtag and it said, find Gabby Petito. Well, then I went on the hashtag and I'm like, what is going on? There's some girl missing, and she's like 21, or how old is she? 22? Something
22.
Young. And I got hooked. I was in a TikTok wormhole. And all the comments are like, when TikTok is going to solve this crime, like before police do. So, there are pros and cons to social media, right? Like one of the pros, I feel like, is how much you can push an attention on something.
And they for sure found her body. And that is like, I feel like for the parents, of course, they wanted her home alive, but at least
they know.
They know. Yeah.
I mean, not to get out of this subject, but this is kind of like that "Don't Fuck with Cats" show.
I've never seen it.
Oh my God, it's kind of like that.
On
Y'all
Netflix.
gotta see that. Yes.
What is it?
It's a show, right?
Yeah.
It's a real story.
It's a documentary,
right,
about an incident kind of similar.
Really? What? Oh,
I've seen it a lot on Netflix, and I never watched it.
But like pretty much, social media solves the.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Really?
That's the premise.
Oh.
So, John Walsh, you guys from America's Most Wanted, has gotten involved in this entire story, and he was on News Nation several nights, and he has named Brian Laundrie's parents the Dirty Laundries. It's actually a hashtag. It's the Dirty Laundries, and he's actually super, super angry about them and them not being more forthcoming. And because the other thing is, Gabby lived with them, with her boyfriend. So and from what I understand, the mom was super excited when they got engaged. She loved Gabby, and to think about that they are silent and not trying to help.
Okay, here's a good question. What would you do as a parent? Like if you, where does the line stop where you're like, I love you as my child, but you need to, what do you do?
You already know the answer from me.
Well, I want you to answer it for our audience.
I am.
You would hide the gun.
No, I wouldn't. They would absolutely have to be handling the punishment if they do something like that. I mean, how could you? I could never sleep at night. Like, I mean, I wouldn't sleep much the other way either. But at least I have a conscience that you have to. You can't just. What is that word? Obeyed, right? Is it obeyed? A murderer? Like,
oh yeah, you can't be part of it.
Yes, and it's kind of, I don't know. To me, that I could never. It would kill me, but I could never be
a part of it.
I couldn't. As much as I love my children more than anything in the world, but I couldn't do that.
When she was parenting, how to not lie.
Oh yes. Oh, that's a good example.
None of us are liars, I think, because of how she did this. I think my experience is I stole rocks from a store, and she would make you go in and embarrass yourself and be like, I stole this, or you would have to confess your lie. She's like, I'm not lying for you. So you told this lie, so now you're going to have to face the consequences that you're a liar. And so it was the most humiliating thing ever. So you never wanted to do it again, because she would teach us that you had to handle it yourself. And
well, yeah, they all, you are not the only one. Jolie
did
the same thing. They all took little stupid little things from Hobby Lobby or something. And then I get home and I go, what is that? I didn't buy that for you. You don't have money, so you stole it. Now we're going back. No,
she would throw us to the wolves.
I never do it again. Well, we're going back anyway. Make sure you never do it again. And then they have to go in front of a manager and apologize and say, I stole this from you. Or, little kids like to embellish things sometimes. Jolie was really bad in first grade. She would tell everyone in her school that she lived on a farm and had all these animals, which we had a cat or a dog at the time. And I made her go in and apologize to her friends and to her teacher that was not true.
She wanted to believe it so bad.
She did. She's like, well, in my mind, it was true.
And then with her, I did, she thought that was a good idea too, to lie. And then I told her, I kind of caught myself. She was my first one, so it's trials, right? And so I caught myself a couple of times going, wait, that wasn't true, but I wouldn't say anything. I didn't want to embarrass her, right? It felt bad. So then I at home said, now, just a warning. If I ever hear you tell a lie, I'm going to call you out right in front of people.
It's so embarrassing.
That's good though.
Stop it. But it is. It's so good because none of us can lie at all. But I think it gives you a good character. But I think for my mom, if it was something like this, she would not hide us.
I mean, no. How could you hide? I never understood that with Casey Anthony's parents. I didn't understand it with Peterson's parents. I will never understand it ever.
Yeah.
Spider, if I play something, if I push, will it then play?
Should.
Okay, let's try it.
Broad view of what exactly authorities are doing in Northport. Can you let me know?
I said you can't see, but you can hear.
Oh, darn it. It's okay. Hearing is fine too.
About that?
Yeah, Ashley, it's quiet outside the house tonight, but really the action today was at the Carlton Reserve. That's the big wildlife reserve you were talking about. 24,000 acres. That is massive. That is bigger than Walt Disney World. That is bigger than Manhattan, just to give you an idea. We went up in the helicopter this afternoon, went over the reserve. I knew it was big, but when you get up above it and you see it and you basically see the swamp just go as far as the eye can see, you realize that they are really just looking for a needle in a haystack right now. And 75% of this reserve is covered in water and alligators and snakes. So these police officers are really risking a lot going out there. They're in ATVs and swamp buggies looking for any sign of Brian Laundrie.
That would be a really hard place to walk if you're on foot. There they are in those ATV.
Camper, the front door.
Great reporting.
Travel blogger.
Okay.
A terrible place to walk. Thanks for that input.
Okay. This is
now dead, Gabby Petito. Brian Entin, you have done such incredible work out there. Thank you so much for all that you've been doing. I hope you get some rest at some point, but fantastic work. Thanks.
Thanks, Ashley.
Okay, so I want to welcome back to the show somebody who really knows how to find people who do not want to be found. It's the host of Investigation Discovery's In Pursuit with John Walsh. He is a veteran of the business of catching bad guys. He knows how to do it because he's done it more than 1,000 times, almost 2,000 times. John Walsh, I just want to ask you about the revelation today that the coroner has determined that the manner of death for Gabby Petito is in fact homicide. It means it was not a bear. It means she did not fall. It means that she did not overdose with drugs. It means man killed her. A person killed her. Does this do a lot in terms of advancing the case and advancing the manhunt?
Well, absolutely. I mean, not every missing woman is found. I know lots and lots of families that have had missing kids and missing adults over the years, and the not knowing is the worst. So the best thing happened is that we found her body, and thank God for that blogger, that travel blogger who drove by and took the picture of the van while he was probably dumping her body. And then we found out yesterday that he tried to hitch a ride back to that van, and the people giving him the ride were going the wrong way, so he got all frantic and jumped out of the car heading back to where the van was, and he gave him too much information. But it's a good thing that they found the body. They'll work on the body, and it removes Brian from this stupid semantic person of interest thing to what you and I kept saying to you, is that he's the only suspect, and he was the only person of interest. So now they're looking for him for a murder. And that changed everything on Tuesday, because last Friday, you and I talked about the implication of his parents, the dirty Laundries, and their lawyer, Bertolino, calling.
But so that who they're talking about was the girl's TikTok I saw, where she was like, we gave him a ride, and he started acting weird. And so that, I think that's why people were like, what is she talking about? Like, who is this person? But then they were talking about him in their one YouTube video, Brian Laundrie, reading a book.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
In a hammock. And they're like, this is really weird. So somebody, again, social media, stops their YouTube video, and it's called, I had to look it up because I wanted to explain it. The book he's reading with on this trip with her is called Annihilation. And it's a 2014 novel about 4 women who venture into the so-called Area X, where 3 of them die and they go missing. So they're exploring uncharted terrain and they go missing and how they go missing. And he's reading that, and it's just weird because you're like, why would you be reading that book? And it makes you wonder, like, did he read it so that he could do that and like hide her?
God.
Wow, there's a lot of thought to this.
I know.
Insane.
If you're getting your ideas from a book, though, you're destined to fail.
I know.
True.
But still, it's weird.
But I mean, did they have like this like crazy, horrible, toxic relationship?
Yes, friends have come out and have said that they've always had drama. There's always been drama around them.
But then we can go back to what we talked about with Rudy in the other show, is that people, sometimes their brain is addicted to the drama. And
yeah, just look at reality shows. That's mostly what it turns into now.
That's true. All drama.
Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable. Well, he has now been officially declared FBI. What?
Yeah, on the wanted list.
Yes, wanted list. And he's now, I mean, there's a manhunt. Now it can be called a manhunt because he was a missing person. How annoying is that?
I mean, if Dog the Bounty Hunter is looking for
So now, this is the newest news. Dog the Bounty Hunter is at the Dirty Laundrie's house at this time right now.
Well, he's obviously not at the house.
No, he is.
No, I mean, Brian is not at the house.
So where are they from?
He's knocking
Florida.
at the He's knocking at the door. I'm watching it. You guys need to go on Brian Entin's Twitter account and look at it. He keeps knocking on that door.
Because this will be a week later.
No, it won't be. You don't know that.
Our show coming out?
We can make little TikTok things. We'll talk about it.
The little mic, you just hold it, the lob. Yeah.
See, this is Brian Entin live right now. You can see him.
Yes. That is so crazy.
Can you tell us why you're here, sir?
Well, really? Now, come on. Okay? Aloha, guys. Thank you.
Do you have any tips?
I'm trying to get some. 833 Tell Dog.
I used to watch Dog the Bounty Hunter show.
Are you going to be staying in Northport, sir?
That's when it's serious. When Dog the Bounty Hunter is coming after your ass. That's when it's serious.
Like, he was really good at it, right?
A lawyer in Florida put a $20,000 bounty.
Yes, that's right. I'm surprised there's not more money on his head, honestly.
Well, she did that by herself, and it's just because she has 2 kids herself and was pissed off about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, so that was just on her own accord.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But I'm surprised that
more
this
people
hasn't
doing that.
been.
I mean, I'm sure there's something out there. Man.
What do you think, Cruz?
I think he did it.
Where is he? Where is he?
Mexico somewhere.
There have been so many sightings too.
Really?
Yes.
Where have they seen him?
They say in Canada. They say in around the corner of his house.
Well, I'm saying Mexico because it's easy to get into.
Right.
Canada? Can you get into Canada right now? I don't think so.
I
don't think we can. I think the border's closed.
But
it's a large border, though. They don't have people everywhere.
Well, if you're trying to sneak in, maybe that's different. But I mean, if you're just trying to go,
I wouldn't even know the first way to sneak into anywhere country. Like, how do you do that?
You don't seem like you would be the best ninja.
Where did I go? I'm lost.
And then once you go through Mexico, then from Mexico you can go, down South America or whatever. But I mean, I think I would go south if I was trying to get lost.
Well, the other shitty thing is that he's so basic looking. Like, he's a bald white
Everybody
guy
says
with facial hair. So it's like, how are they going to find him? Because he's so like, a lot of people look like him.
Yeah.
I feel like.
They said it sucks right now to be a tall, skinny, bald, bearded guy. Bearded white guy.
Because he kind of has the look of like just
an average Joe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, this has the whole world is talking about it. I asked my mom in Austria if she had heard about it, and she said she hadn't. And then I looked at the Austrian newspaper, and yes, it is just as big a story over there as it is here. Yes, and everyone in the whole wide world is talking about it. And
I do wonder why it's like so big like that.
It just took off with all this craziness, and it's such a crazy situation. And then they have candlelight vigils everywhere. There's a memorial that is growing. It is humongous. It is becoming like, I can't believe it. Her mom wanted everyone to use the color like turquoise because it reminds her of her eyes. So there's turquoise ribbons all around the street that she lived on and all this kind of stuff. It is just unbelievable. And I guess they have opened her memorial tomorrow to the public. So
it's so crazy.
It is unbelievably crazy. It is so sad.
And where are the parents? Are the parents?
Her parents?
No,
his parents in the house. They stay in the house, and Brian Entin, the Dirty Laundries, has said that it is the weirdest part about this is they're in their little house and they never turn a light on. He's like, I'm there all night long. Every single night they have no light on. He said, I don't know. These people live in the dark. He said they must be in an interior room with a tiny little
light.
Oh, maybe just they don't want anybody to see them, or
yeah, they don't want people to know that they're home, I guess. But
so
everybody
then
knows they're home.
Hiding something, right? So can they get in trouble if?
Well, I heard all kinds of things. They can definitely be charged, but usually parents don't get in trouble because I guess.
Right.
But that they did break into, like, they bombarded their home and they got all her stuff.
Oh,
right?
yeah. That oh my goodness.
What?
One they had a
Who's
whole
they?
The FBI.
They did a whole entire
raided the house.
They came with those things they have. They didn't actually knock the door down, but if they had to, they were ready. There were 15 officers.
And they all came in and
they all went in and they
searched
took
the
stuff
house.
out.
And
they
said that they took
get out
her stuff because she lived there.
They said no.
Oh,
That's
no.
absolutely not true.
Never
They
mind.
took stuff for like evidence,
computers,
boxes, and yes, computers.
cell
And,
phones.
yep.
There was really funny because somebody had a video of the FBI like taking stuff out of the house, and they're like, if you ever needed to move quickly, just hire the FBI because they are very efficient and moving very fast with these boxes. Like, people's comments sometimes are really funny.
I mean, then yesterday, some prankster reported gunshots at their property, so the cops came back out.
That was real.
That was yesterday. They came back in their house. They were in the backyard. Then it came out that was not true.
They're saying too that there's a lot of fake Brian Laundries popping up on Instagram. Like,
yes,
that it's supposedly him making all these posts and comments, but I think that they're all saying those are all fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're on the run, I don't know if you have that much time to be making fake accounts and posting stuff all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
But are you like leading maybe the cops somewhere else?
Yeah, I know. It's like, and how do you know? I don't know. It's just so crazy. Seems so
What's
difficult.
crazy is how they have so much technology and they haven't
found
figured it out yet.
I know.
No kidding.
You know,
That's what
because-
John Walsh criticizes the police, how they have handled the case, and he says it's
Where
pretty
is
damn
his
sick.
phone?
They said, so the parents, when they reported their son missing,
They had
3
his
days
phone.
later, said he left without a phone and without his wallet.
Oh my God.
And that he went for a hike in that whatever that park is that they keep searching now. And the weird part is also he drove there with the Mustang. And then when he didn't come back, the parents, so weird, without telling anyone he's missing, went there and brought the car back. But they didn't still say that he was missing.
Like, our son didn't come home. Let me go get the car real quick.
Yeah.
He
And
left that,
supposedly
damn it.
they
That's
left.
just some dumb moves.
I know, they get away with it. I don't understand it.
They're not getting away with anything. It's all gonna come
They
out.
just can't find him right now. A lot of people say he killed himself.
There was an FBI profiler on
I don't think
Brian
so because
Entin's
the parents would probably be more willing if they knew he was gone.
I agree with you. And this FBI profiler person the other day said people like him don't kill themselves because they're too narcissistic.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I think if he were to kill himself, his parents wouldn't be acting like this. I think they would, cooperate a lot
So
more.
weird. But I guess too, they just look so normal. Like if you saw them, like he doesn't look like that. I've never seen any of their videos, so I don't know if he talks weird or anything.
So are the parents cooperating or they're not? They're just not saying anything.
No, that's what the weird part was right in the beginning, that he and the parents lawyered up. So they never spoke to the police.
Yeah, that's weird.
Fishy, yeah. You got to hire an attorney then. That's.
And they hired some attorney that is from New York that I guess the mom worked in some Suffolk County, New York police department, which is also strange. And what was the other thing? That was weird that she worked. Oh, that he's not even like a criminal lawyer. He's like a house lawyer or something.
A house lawyer?
I mean, a realtor or something.
Well, it's still.
But I guess he's doing a pretty good job, though, right? Isn't he?
The attorney?
I heard the attorney was pretty. His
the
attorney,
parents' attorney?
Yeah.
John Walsh calls him a scoundrel, 15 minutes for fame Johnny Cochran lawyer. He's like so pissed at him.
Yeah, because I heard that he's like a pretty badass lawyer.
I don't think so.
No?
Mm-mm. So they also said jealous van life boyfriend is adept at wilderness survival. Gabby Petito's pal says.
But so his friends, have they come out and said anything? Like he is like narcissistic, like he's an asshole? Because I can think of people that I have known in my past who, if they did anything like this, a lot of people would be like, he was a piece of shit all the time. Like, he was such a dick all the time, like a bad person. Has anyone said that?
I don't know. I mean, there was actually a
He
lady.
had friends.
A lady came out that there was like a grandmother. Oh, that was like a grandmother to Gabby.
Uh-huh.
And she said that she loved him. She had no idea that he was like that.
Well, that's like some serial killers.
Oh.
They are so nice.
They're so nice.
What's what people say?
But then
like, what?
the friends did say they have always had drama.
Yeah.
So.
And then you wonder, did something happen on accident? Like, did he?
Well, so I'm
there
going to
was
go
also
back.
some stuff saying that like they got into an argument. He just like left her.
But that can't be because do you think someone else murdered her?
I'm just saying there's like scenarios that he has like maybe escape holes.
I don't
What
know.
are escape holes?
But see, I think like no one is bringing it up anymore, but I think that lesbian thing has something to do with it still, because I was thinking, think about this. People are weird, right? So they are like out of town. Who knows?
Oh, like they were swinging.
Maybe they was hooked up. Maybe then he killed them and she was a witness, and that's why they're having fights, because blah blah blah, and he had to kill her so she wouldn't tell.
Kill everybody.
Is that not I mean, is that too far-fetched?
That's not actually.
I mean,
I think I've seen that on TV.
Me too. I'm like, I've
read
seen that
that
on a
book.
documentary somewhere. I have.
I mean, that's just weird.
It is weird that it's not just random that they are in the same coffee shop with
shit like that just doesn't happen randomly.
Right?
No.
Like Patrick
No.
goes, I don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah.
They're probably not saying anything because they already know something and they're just looking for him.
Yeah,
and
they have to. They can't say.
Well, they
too much.
also why they're calling him, like why they're saying he used Gabby's credit card after she was missing. That's the reason why they're after him.
So
But
they're after
they
him for
say-
the credit card
the
theft,
credit
not
card.
murder.
So they're saying usually they do this, and then when they get him in,
right.
then
They just need a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see. How
And it-
frustrating when you can't find someone.
How frustrating.
He's in Mexico.
You think he's in Mexico?
He's got to be, or somewhere south.
Somewhere south.
Somewhere south.
Why do they keep searching that swamp? I don't
How far
understand.
is Mexico from
Oh, yeah, Florida.
I mean, if
They're
you
like
took a
Tampa
flight,
area.
you can go. Not too. It's not that far. Maybe like a 3-hour flight.
Oh, and I guess they could have done it in the beginning before any of this was getting crazy. So
Yeah.
Yeah, because
he
they
could just
they
fly.
said that. I mean,
now you could just walk across the border.
Yeah.
They don't ask you anything.
he used a debit card and PIN number for accounts that did not belong to him for charges totaling more than $1,000.
What did he buy?
That's the indictment.
Does
They're
it say
not
what he
saying.
got? Oh.
They didn't tell us yet. I bet one day we'll know.
And this will be a documentary. I just guarantee it.
And I bet, they know everything that he bought, and they kind of.
Yeah, that's true.
And if he flew anywhere, there's records.
Yes.
So.
They said that he could have a different identity.
But aren't there cameras everywhere? Like, even if you drove, you can't drive from Florida to Mexico without stopping at a gas station. So aren't there cameras?
You could go on a boat.
There's also a sister.
You
I
go on a
forgot to talk
boat.
about her.
Oh.
His
Whose sister?
sister.
Oh, his sister.
Yeah. She has actually spoken to news outlets and says
What
she
did she
knows
say?
nothing.
She might not.
And she loves Gabby. And they text.
How sad.
Yeah.
Well, it's to be continued.
To be continued. We keep you updated on this. Any other questions about it?
Comments?
So many, but man, where is he? What's he doing? Who's he
Can you
with?
Imagine being on the run like that. How stressful.
Would be stressful. That would be
hate
so stressful.
that life.
Probably has hair now.
It grew.
You got plugs. Golly. I just feel bad for Gabby's parents, Gabby's family. They are going through the worst thing. They have
that's so sad.
They have her memorial service, and I don't even know. It's a sad, sad, sad story. And absolutely for domestic violence, I feel like that is something that she will forever. I think things may change about it. They are doing a foundation for her. I feel like maybe people will be more aware at these signs, because that hour-long video, I feel like, shows a lot about an abuse.
You see that video and you right away,
Yes.
There's something going on.
Yes.
I don't know what, but something's going on.
Exactly.
That's why the cops, that was that main stop, right?
Yeah. So, on that note, it's our first true crime podcast. So, let's go to our question of the day.
The two posh girls ask the question of the day.
All right. So, I'm going to pick this one. Do you think two people, one person that is cheap and another person with expensive taste, do you think it would be a good relationship?
Nope.
I was going to say, I think it'd be difficult
I think it'd be very difficult
to fight all the time.
But also, I feel it depends who is the cheap one. Because if the guy's cheap, then there's going to be fights. But if the girl's cheap, maybe not so much.
Why do you think that?
God, because girls spend more money.
Yeah.
We got a lot of shit to maintain.
I agree. I always say yes.
Business.
I always say yes.
You want some shit done? Yeah, do it.
You never worry about the money part.
Money comes and goes, I guess.
Yeah.
Enjoy it now, because who knows, tomorrow you might not be able to.
You can't take it with you.
Right.
True.
To a certain extent, I feel, you have to have a certain something for a rainy day. But, other than that, I feel you should enjoy it. People enjoy a different way, traveling, doing stuff, making themselves look better so they feel better, gets more confidence, and, makes you a better person. But I think it just depends. If the guy is cheap and the girl has expensive taste, hell no.
No.
But on the other side, it might, And I think if the guy has expensive taste and the girl is cheap, it'll like
He'll
flip.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll change her. I could see
Definitely.
that. And I guess it depends the way you grew up. So that is possible.
And that's true too.
You know, but I think there's also the other extreme. Like you have to be cautious. Like you can't just go into debt, obviously.
Right,
Like you have to have
exactly.
respect for your financial situation.
Yes.
But when someone is so cheap, that is extremely annoying.
And especially when someone's cheap and they have money.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
the worst.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
is
really
the
won't
worst.
work.
No, that's really horrible.
Well, we all agree.
Okay.
We all agree. Wow.
And let's do a party with Miss
Oh,
Polly.
I know, we all
It's time
agree.
to party with Miss Polly.
The modern day Doctor
We are doing again, and the one thing that actually surprised a sex therapist, and one of them is cuckold and chastity fetishes are kind of big right now. Those are fetishes I'm seeing a lot of. That was surprising to me. A cuckold fetish is getting turned on by watching your partner with someone else, while a chastity fetish is a type of BDSM play that involves chastity belts or cages. It's more important than people think it is, and it's often coming from a place of low self-esteem or trauma or acting something out. We used to sell cock cages. Remember? It looks like your penis was in a cage. So weird. We used to sell
what
them.
is that? What does that do?
You can't use it. You're time out. Your penis is in prison.
And you wear it like under your pants and stuff?
Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
Can I just say, fuck that?
You could say that again.
And I think a
Yeah,
girl
we
is
sold
like,
them. Like, and they came like with these, like the shoe closures. What is that called? Like
clasp?
Like
or a hook?
Like these things.
Buckle.
Buckles.
A buckle.
Yeah,
Oh.
each one had a buckle.
Yeah. And then
So who sold or who got to show people how those worked?
We don't know about that.
Yeah,
but
we don't know. It was online.
we just sold them.
Yeah, we didn't have them at parties.
Gotcha.
What is the other one? Coddling when
A cuckold.
a cuckold.
A cuckold. It's a fetish where you get turned on by watching your partner with someone
Oh,
else.
that horrible thing.
I
It's the
don't
guy in
know.
the corner.
Yes.
That's
the guy in the corner.
Wait,
What was her name?
When you're watching your partner with someone.
Yeah. And you can't do anything.
You know-
like you're punished from it. Like you're not allowed to touch it. You just have to be turned on.
Emily's
severely.
husband did that.
Yeah, but he got to join after. This is where you are not allowed to, like, you are severely
Ever.
turned on and you have to be like you can't do anything.
Yeah, no. I'm a freak, but not. That's a little. That's not even freaky. That's like dumb.
But isn't it weird that she says it comes from a place of low self-esteem or trauma or acting something out?
I
don't think that's
definitely.
weird.
I don't think that's weird. I definitely.
Yeah, not weird. It's
Yeah.
definitely not weird.
I mean, that's where a lot of things come from. You know,
Trauma.
growing up, a lot of mommy, daddy issues. I mean, a lot of things come from there. I feel.
Yeah, that's true. I have a friend who is very dabbled into BDSM right now.
That might be going to the gossip section.
I am so.
I think I even know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's extreme.
Is it really?
I am stressed out for her because I'm like, what is going on?
Spider,
But,
they're talking gossip.
but I can't say anything else. That's it. That's all I'm going.
Well, you don't have
That's
to
as far
say a
as I'm
name,
going.
but
No,
come
that's as far
on.
as I'm going.
It's still gossip.
Okay, is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you questions.
You know what time it is. Apparently, it's Talking Dominatrix time with Marcella.
Not for me.
Yeah, that did sound a lot worse than I meant it to.
Spill the tea.
Yeah,
What are we talking
Stella.
about?
Okay, so I will never say names, okay?
Don't have
Just so
to
y'all
say
know.
names.
I have a friend who for the last few years has been dabbling in
Few
BDSM.
years.
Mhm.
Okay.
Has been dabbling in the BDSM world. She would like to be a submissive. So that's where you're a sub and you have a dom. I've learned all these things, by the way.
Through her or just in general?
Through her.
Okay.
There is a website that you can be part of called FetLife, and it's
Is
where
that like the Tinder for
this
SNL?
extreme fetish. Yes,
That's
and
Miss Polly's talked about it before.
yeah, she has. So I wish Miss Polly was here right now because I have actually reached out to Miss Polly before to ask her questions for my friend who's involved in this for safety reasons. But there's a lot of rules that go into this lifestyle, and it is a lifestyle, but you are somebody's pet depending on what role you play. And she called me 3 days ago. Everything like just happened. And she was like, I don't know how to feel because I met a dom and we've gone out 3 times. And I guess there are steps you take into like how this lifestyle works. You can't just throw it all at someone because it can be very aggressive. Like some people are into blood and like actually physically hurt. That's the masochist part because it's bondage, domination, submission, and something.
Tell Cruz what and Spider what happened.
So they were supposed to meet and have like a date, but this date was going to be more actually having this BDSM stuff. And she said that he came to the door, and when she opened the door, he was like, "Get on your knees." And she was like, "Okay." And he got a collar out and put a collar on her neck and then made her walk with like a leash, like a puppy. And then she had to cook dinner in lingerie with her collar. And then when they got to dinner, she said she brought everything to the table, and then she went in the kitchen, and then she came back and her plate was on the floor. And he was like, "You need to eat on the floor like a dog." And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like nobody's putting me on the floor." Like, hell no. And she said she had to, I go, "Did you at least get to use like silverware?" And she said yes, and that they like did that. She had to eat on the floor, and he would pat her head and was like, "Good girl," like a puppy. And she was like,
I'm sorry, these people.
She's like, "My collar was really pretty though." And I was like, "What?"
Wow. I'm so shocked.
Black with spikes.
Cruz hasn't said a word.
And then, well, I'm not
in
done.
awe. I'm
So, and then the other thing is like, there's all these tasks that like your dom can give to you, and she wants a poster board with like that she can put like a gold star sticker, like if she does her task. And so he was like, that can be one of our things, is that you get a poster board and you can put your sticker, like your star. And then at the end, you can have a reward. She was like, "Well, could I go shopping or could I?" And he's like, "Yeah, that can be a reward." But fast forward that she has a mentor for this lifestyle, and she reached out to the mentor, and the mentor and another person all told her that this is way too fast to be doing such aggressive techniques in this lifestyle. That it should be done just a little bit different, because you're supposed to make your submissive super comfortable and you make them very open to want to submit to you. And that's how that works. To me, it is abuse trauma issues. From
Yes.
I've seen some of this
Absolutely.
on TikTok, and they call it pup play.
What?
There's people that wear masks and stuff too.
I think that's a little different. Yeah, because there's like that one and the horse play, and I mean, I've seen
What
stuff.
is wrong with people?
But she said that this person that he showed her a picture, that he has gotten a girl to be totally like taped. And I'm talking like taped with just a hole in their mouth. And I was like, let me just tell you, I have claustrophobia, and that would never happen. And she said that he told her that you make them so comfortable mentally. But to me, this all sounds like a bunch of people who love to manipulate people.
Yes.
Weak-minded people. And I'm probably getting in big trouble for saying that. But I will tell you, if somebody ever told me to get on the knees and like bark like a dog, I'd be like, get the fuck out. Like, no. Don't you feel like a little bit like embarrassed? I don't know.
Yeah, like demoralized.
Yes, but there's that too. Like people want to be
Yeah, I
that.
think that's the point.
I know, but I don't know. I would be so uncomfortable. So that is all the gossip I have.
Man.
Any questions?
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Any questions, Cruz? That's all I have.
Man.
So I just don't know sometimes if it's very safe. You know, like could like you get murdered on accident.
I mean, I've
on accident.
You know,
Well,
there's
I don't know.
I've heard stories where they make you sleep in coffins and
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
bags with pee and
Yes.
all these like
Yes, it gives me anxiety.
and then like when you have safe words and you start to say it and then you'd be like, oh, they're too fussy, they don't like to work with you, and then they put you down, so they make you think that you're not like
Good
worthy
sub.
enough. Yeah.
Yes.
So then it makes you even more want it more, and it's all psychological. And
Yes, it's psychological, and I think it can be very mentally damaging.
Absolutely.
And then the other part that I don't like personally is when you get on FetLife, you take a test. And she sent it to me. She's like, take the test. It's like what you're into. Well, it's so aggressive, right? So then if you're not into these things, they call you like vanilla. And it's like, well, that is like so like manipulative to think that anything other than hanging by your feet
And what's
upside
wrong
down.
with vanilla anyways?
Well, I'm just saying that in their mind, they make it seem like that's wrong.
And some people have to work harder than others to get off, apparently.
No.
I mean,
Whoa, wow.
So that's that.
Woo.
On that note,
That changed real quick.
everyone,
Thanks for listening.
thanks for listening. And please follow us on all social media accounts. You know what they are. What are they, Sawa?
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes,
Facebook.
All the
All of it.
above.
all of it.
The only one I haven't really put it on
LinkedIn.
is LinkedIn. But
I didn't think about that one.
Almost. So thank you for listening, everyone. And we appreciate it. And send us questions.
Or
and
gossip.
comments. More gossip.
And you don't have to say names.
No.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay.
Totally cruise.
Thank you.